Well, my name's Carlos, but my full name's Juan Carlos, and my last name's Araujo, and I am from San Jose, born and raised. From I'm 27, and yeah, I'm still living here in San Jose, I guess.
When did you open up the art gallery, and why?
Well, I don't even really call it a gallery. It's my art studio. I got it 2 years ago, but 2.5 years ago actually. I'll forget the dates, but we can look into those later. And then eventually this place it was garbage, and then I had to clean it up. And then it took some time, but about 2 years or a year and a half into it, I started doing shows for my friends. I grew up in the east side of San Jose, and then did a lot of moving around. But one of my cousins, he did graffiti. He was really good at it, really good. He was young and good. He used to paint trains over at Olinder Elementary back in the day when there was trains. I used to run in those trains, just playing around over there. But so I started tagging, and I got myself, in trouble and stuff as a kid doing that, and I've always kind of liked, that. But graffiti has expanded. It's something different now, and people are doing like amazing things with it. But me, I just want to paint. Painting just kind of gives me a little bit of that, I guess. But I get influence just from freedom, fighting for your freedom. The way I see it, if I don't want to get into politics, but like the way I see it is like we're trapped. We have to work a job where it's like 40 plus hours a week. But see, going to your job, like for me, it takes me 2 hours ahead of time. So I get up at 5 to be at work at 7, and I don't get home till like 6 or something. It's like, and I don't know, man. I don't feel like they say it's a free country, but it's kind of like I don't know. It's not. Forgot that the train conductor today told me something that made a lot of sense, but of course I forgot it. But he's all American. He said I love my country, but at the same time, we're not ahead of the game. There's countries in Portugal where you're not allowed to work more than 4 days a week. You get a fine. It's like, why don't we have that right? But anyway, so I get influenced by, like, I guess just having so much to say, in a way, like feeling like there's something that I like to do on my canvas, and I write, we're all monkeys. Because I feel like we're all monkeys, like, how they use monkeys as puppets, and so many things. So, in a way, we're all puppets too. So, and, I translate that, and I paint it on canvas. And, yeah, so I moved in with my girlfriend, Jennifer. We live actually right across the way. And I sat there at the patio. Used to drink a lot, and I used to sit there and drink my beer. And then I just observed that there's this building, and it's got brick on the outside, and I love brick buildings. So for the longest time, it wasn't, I didn't know what was going on with it. And one day I saw a for lease sign on it, and I wrote down the number, and I called the place. Long story short, I make an appointment to meet up with, the guy who's going to show me the warehouse. And And it's the funniest thing, dude. It's a childhood friend. We grew up like in the South Side together. I moved over there, like like teens or whatever. But he's there, and he's the guy who's showing me the building. I was like, cool, man. I'm like, he's like, what are you trying to do with it? And I told him I'm trying to do an art studio, and he's like, oh, it's perfect for that. He's like, but it's really run down, and he wasn't kidding.
Well, is a glass half empty or full? I don't agree. All depends on what you're drinking, if you know what I mean. I take them down to the B, give them one for the team. Hope that love that I land comes home back to me. See, life can be hazardous. Girls driving bananas and the crews try to play it the same. They're born ravenous, try to bite down on something they can't chew. Choke on bad news, went down the wrong too. So I Heimlich the mic and try to act right. Let the words that I write give breath the next life. I hope that I choose a high road to use, cause a highway to heaven thing is so hard to do. It's cause and effect, yo. Blondes and brunettes, yo. Job that I love, work hard for that check, though. Off hit the road, catch you later at the next show. Really gotta go, got the blues in my head.
If I could choose what the effects would be, I would make it so the blues would never follow me. Only doing what I do without insecurity, keeping more than just a style, being so.
All right, well, it's been about a number of years since I've known Carlos now. And this warehouse thing, I guess you could say, has been in him for a long time. We've been creating and doing art together for the years are unknown now, because he doesn't even know, I don't know. But the dream of his of the warehouse now is here and has arrived. You know, he's seen it in many places and others, and now it's one in San Jose where we're doing it out of. You know, and now that he has his own, you know, it's fun because we always have something in there, up in there too. Besides, you know, he thought the warehouse was gonna be like, you know, it's just basically a big fun building now. You know, he does whatever he wants in there, and you've seen it blossom into many things, and it's gonna be numerous of things. It's gonna still progress into things. This probably was gonna be the first thing on the list of what warehouse. You know, it's just the warehouse, because where we started our art was out here in the free world, because, you know, restrictions and all that, you know, confine your mind. But now we're gonna let the world know. Don't matter where art is, it could be anywhere, anything in your life. You riding your bike, you jogging, it's an art form. Same thing, your life's an art form. And that's what we gotta remember. And that's what we're just trying to show to people, that we are free in our own world too, because we all live in our own worlds out here. And that's what we're living day by day in our own worlds. And that's the truth of the matter. But you come into this world, into here, and it's a different world each time. And that's what makes you let you know that the world is still free for us to roam and have our own ideas, our own creations. And that's what we're trying to show to everybody, that anybody can do anything at any time, create anything, anywhere. And that's what Carlos is really about, and me and him are about. And I try to teach everyone around us that creation's all around us at any time. And that's what the warehouse may represent, or could represent, whatever you want it to think, but that's what some of our ideas are. And we have many ideas. Every day is a new day. So we're going to learn something new, we're going to progress something new. This is something new, and we're going to move on to the next day, and it's going to be something even newer. That's how we're looking, and that's how we're thinking.
I've known Carlos for a while. Been good friends with my other boy, Emilio, and some other people I know, family and whatnot. But this place was pretty beat down. There was a lot of work that needed to be done, but, you know, it's looking really good now. He's been consistent throughout the time that he's been open, which is really cool. A lot of people coming through, a lot of locals, a lot of cool artists coming through this place, and it's good to see a new place come up and like already be competitive with all the other establishments that have been around for a while.
My name is Andrew Gatley. I've been helping out with the spot for about a year now. My friend Alex is friends with Carlos, and he brought Roberto over, and Roberto brought me over. Basically, I just showed up one day and just started working because my friends told me this is the warehouse, super cool spot. You love it, just come through and help us build everything. So I did, and like, I don't know, it's every single inch of the spot has a completely different story. It's all the walls are all recycled drywall, steps out front, have little statues buried into this concrete. There's lights that Carlos got, some neighbor job by his work. where he just said, hey, give me all those lights for free, because they went out of business. So we just showed up and straight uninstalled all the track lighting and brought it over here, hooked it up, and it's a spot that's just got put together with just a bunch of recycled, nothing materials, and now it's something dope.
So since I've been here, I've been watching how this place actually makes these shows happen. I see Jennifer come in and have a great sense of the bigger picture and a plan and a schedule, and I see Carlos here every single day cleaning up and making sure everything's working the way it's supposed to work. And I see them talking about ideas. I see them working together to make these things really be a successful event. It's been a lot of fun to watch kind of how they're getting along and see the energy that each person brings to make an Empire 7 function. Carlos is here on a daily basis, and I've been surprised to see how much work on a daily basis this place takes to just maintain, to clean up, to keep everything straight, and then to be here when someone's coming over to look at the studio. And then Jennifer comes here whenever she can and does her part to keep this place going. Then they have people like Manic, who's running his music studio, who's here 3 or 4 days a week, 5 nights, maybe sometimes a week, working on his studio. So it's a great place to be and watch a lot of people come together, do some projects, and then leave and go on about their day jobs or everything else. So I've been using this place 9 to 5 at like an office. I come here and I work on my projects, and other people come over and they'll sit and play music, and we all work here until Carlos gets here and does his thing with us too. So it's been fun watching this place double as a painting studio / source space / staging area daily. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it, I think.
But this place, these are garage doors. I cut down 16-foot by 2-foot slabs of garage doors, like 30 of them. They're just all in the wall, instead of plywood. That's what we got. And what else? I mean, we got a whole stack of fucking 2x6s. They were all like 16 foot long. And this is all in the same place on different occasions. I just happened to be at the same place, or at the right place at the right time. And fucking got that, And that's helped out through this studio a lot, I mean, I got $2,000 worth of free stuff. Because there's other stuff I got. Free floors, free carpet, free paint from Carlos. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's sustaining, trash. I mean, it's been it's a blessing, but it's tight that that worked out.
So when we first saw the spot, basically we went inside, and it was pretty creepy. There was no light or anything, and somebody left their stuff there, and there was only one outlet. So I was scared to go in there because I thought something was gonna come out of the walls or something, because I'm very scared of horror movies. So anyways, we figured out some lighting. I think he used one of those major those construction type lighting that just lit up the whole room. And he lasted like that for a little while, and then we went in there with hazmat outfits, and I thought, oh my god, because I'm a little bit germaphobe, so I went in there thinking, I don't know what the heck's gonna come out of the ceilings, and he power washed that whole entire thing while I was mopping or brooming all the water out of the building, and so we just cleaned up the place. Basically, we the old lights that were hanging in there. There were some, I don't even know, they look like something out of a horror movie too. But anyways, we went in there, and his friend actually chainsaw they were hanging by these chains, and he just chainsawed them all off and finally got them off. And we put in some lighting that he's been lucky, he's come across people, he mentioned that he likes to just talk to random people, and just luckily he met people that were either getting rid of track lighting, getting rid of drywall, and it just kind of things came to his favor. People were interested and supported his cause and said, take this, you could have it. So, and it really helped him out, considering funding is always difficult to come by. So, I know that he I'm not gonna lie, there's times I do really support him and I push him, but there's been times where I almost want to give up too, thinking, oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. When is this gonna ever happen? You know? And he just kept on pushing, and he's had this vision, and you know, there were times, like I said, where I almost just thought, you know, this is gonna be too much to handle. Again, it always goes back to funding. You know, we were doing this all by ourselves. There was nobody else helping us. And, you know, we did it the very, I guess, old school way. And once we got all the things that were donated to us little by little, piece at a time, and the place started coming alive. You know, he painted the walls. You know, just was it recently, we've had shows every month, and then just maybe a month or two ago, they put up trim. You know, all these little things that just add to the space. You know, he had his uncle who paints. You know, the building was a really ugly, you know, beige color. And he went and said, you know what, I want to paint the facade of it, and it's like a orangey reddish color, and it just looks great. It stands out. So, you know, I mean, it was a long journey, but we got there, and now we have art shows, and now people are asking, you know, and people are still learning about our space, you know. We're, you know, I didn't always have, I guess, the PR background, but, you know, again, working with where I worked at the CVB, it just really helped me to be out there in the community. So that did pay a good part of, you know, pushing it and being out there and letting people know what we're about, to come support us. If they can't come one month, you know, definitely don't forget at next month. Every month we have our art show.
I'm sorry, but I got to leave you, baby. We're no good together. Oh, please don't cry, but I can't lie now, sugar. Me solo is better. We've been together for a year now, and that's much too long for us to think we're fresh, but we only got one song. I mean, come on. Obviously, we're not working out, so I think it's time to end. About to go our separate routes. No need to pout and preach or shout about the truth that leaves my mouth. Us blowing up, only lose my mind with doubt. When I'm the hot dog, you two are just the sauerkraut.
Shut up, you're whack. You're only trying to quit before we kick you out and break you in with our fists. Check the leak in your pipe, you can see through the mist. Cause if it wasn't for the beats, your career would not exist. It's the truth that really hurts. I'm not really trying to diss, so desist with the wish that your raps are really tight. Cause I lied when I told you I was feeling what you write. We just needed your equipment and your hoopty, cause I lost my bike and now you're rapping, having gas of asking inside my limelight. Do what you must, you'll always have a home. You know we show you love, no more sticks and stones.
I'm sorry, but I got to leave you, baby. We're no good together.
Well, normally, in these particular situations, I'll be emphasizing how the problems lie with you, but me, but don't you see? In this particular hip-hop posse, all the musical talent happens to lie with you, surely, and what's more, I've been cheating on you, I've been moonlighting with 5 other hip-hop crews.
I have become part of Empire 7 Studios, which we've been doing for maybe about a year now, having monthly art shows. I met Carlos about 5 years ago at a bar, actually, and what the purpose of that is because when we met, we were talking about art. You know, he had just come from an art show, and I was talking about how much I loved art, and the conversation started from there.
Heart of Chaos.
Yeah.
Did it with Ernesto Solario. That was
So,
my first art piece.
and this actually, this piece is one of the first that he had shown me what he was working on. So I thought, you know, this is really, really good stuff. People need to see this. You know, if you have it in your room, it's not going to get anywhere. You need to put it out, and the public needs to see what kind of stuff you can do. So, you know, we started dating and, you know, exploring art, go to art shows, and just kind of seeing what was out there, but doing our own stuff. We moved to Japantown maybe about 3 years ago, and I think for a good year, he was looking out the window and looking at the building across the street that was for lease, having, you know, all these ideas, and I thought, you know, gosh, I can't even imagine what it's going to cost to rent that place, but we went and looked at it, explored at it.
Shitty one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, it has a lot of work that needs to be done, where we're going to get the funding, and that's why it took a good year to actually put the place together, with the help of some friends that have been supportive, and now we have a great studio where he paints. I have a darkroom there with my sister, Nancy Ahn, who's an artist as well. And I actually started painting because of his painting. It's influenced me to start painting. So it is somewhat separate from my photography, but it's something that I enjoy doing.
We're trying to just network and create our own little community and art shows, and don't want to compete with downtown or other people, because we want opportunities for everybody to go to these shows, but we're trying to blow it up.
I mean, we don't want to be considered a stuffy gallery, which is typically cliche with a lot of friends and just artists that we meet. They're either upcoming or they're already out there, and we want to be approachable. I mean, we want to really, for people, friends and family, to come and have a good time. We want other artists to come to us and just say, hey, how can I have a show? I mean, we have our guidelines too. I mean, really basic. We want to see some images and your idea, and then we go from there. And I mean, we booked the whole year. I think Carlos's personality, the reason I manage a lot of things is I'm very technically I schedule things, and I'm very, organized in that way. Whereas Carlos is more he wants to get it done, and I'm the one that actually tries to get that done for him, I guess.
I like to, I don't know, I want to talk about myself, but I guess I like to, I could talk to people, right?
Yeah.
I like talking to strangers. I think strangers are, I mean, you can meet your good ones and your bad ones, but it just opens up, I don't know. I'm always talking to strangers. I don't know why. I think they're interesting to me. Everybody's wandering around in this world, thinking, I need to go here, I'm going to go there, and sometimes I just stop and just maybe take the time to say, hey, what are you up to? Or
Well, I think because everybody gets so caught up in their fast-paced life that they don't really sit down, I guess slow down to talk to people. There's so many things going on that people just get caught up, I guess, in the fast-paced life. So it's kind of good to know. And that's why I think when we have these art shows, it's very community-based, and we want people to come by, support art, just relax, have a good time. We've been doing a lot of art shows, but I think I talked to Carlos about maybe doing, now that summer's here, maybe doing some music nights where we could have, maybe we have a friend who is up and coming, and he just released his, I think, second CD, so we asked him, be interested in doing a CD release event. So
we're doing a lot of,
trying to brainstorm and think of other ideas that still involve the arts, but expanding out, I guess.
The whole gallery thing, I don't see myself as a gallery just because when I go to a gallery, it's completely different. It's funded, and they usually look pretty nice. Not, our place is nice, but it's got this bluegrass feeling. It's very industrial. That's what I loved about the building to begin with. The metal door, from the roll down door to the ceiling, how it's got the gutters right now, but
part of history. Since it was originally an ice building.
Originally it was an ice house, a freezer, and then it became a meat packing plant. And I think that's a really cool story about the place is that it's got a lot of history. Eventually that went out of business, and I've looked up, try to look up history, but I haven't been successful. But anyway, all that history, and then now it's a studio. It's not a gallery. It's my art studio, and then we have a dark room and music, so they're art studios. I think if this film can inspire people and tell them something, I think you tell them that, you can make your goals happen. I struggled a lot, but, through tough times by myself or with a partner, it's been worth it, the whole trip, the whole ride, People told me, you're crazy, you're wasting your time, your money, which I don't have a whole lot of. you know, and I do, and I have been, and I'm gonna continue to do it. You know, it's worth it. It's worth for me to see people come out here and enjoy the space and tell me how much they love it. And they've never seen anything like this, you know, and it's motivating. And why would I want to stop doing that? So I think, you know, whatever that can tell you, that can inspire you, then, you know, just do it. Because no one can tell you what's in the future. And as far as I can say for my future, it's just begun. So that's pretty much it.
Waiting for me to explode. Waiting for you to up and let go. Holding on something we can't touch. Must be the reason it's never enough. Sometimes there's a right time to sleep fine in the night time. Raw dog covered in stars. In the back of this truck.